It's now 1:37 a.m. Rains have stopped, and I've just finished venturing around back behind the store in the old house. All that good stuff. There's a couple little travel trailers back there. One of them's got a moat ditched around it. That's pretty funny. It's obviously been there for a while. And an interesting thing I've had to confront in all of this is just the thought that I want to claim ownership of this place. Recognizing where that fits into this whole process of decolonization, both my intent and my mindset. And so it's a process, I guess, is all I'm saying. It's not something you immediately arrive at. But the question is, what kind of control do I want to see of this property? I guess I want to see some sort of cooperative stewardship. And I definitely want to see cooperative tribal partnership with the community. As absolutely a necessity, I think. Especially if we're truly going to occupy this land, claim our sovereign rights to it. Can't just do that as settlers, as colonial immigrants. That's just more decolonization you gotta confront, you know? We occupied this land by shunting aside its original inhabitants. And from what I understand, settling their shamanic grounds. The grounds, the interior of this island, I've heard, still haven't confirmed, but I've heard was pretty much like a central shamanic ground for a lot of tribes around the Sound, not just tribes that settled on the coast here or fished these grounds. And that's a really powerful idea to just like begin to fathom, especially, you know, in our white, colonized, indoctrinated mindset. You know, it doesn't fit into that conception. That whole conception was made in order to quash that energy, I think. You know, I don't think it's an accident that we destroy this indigenous spirit in the lands that are colonized. And I don't want to claim we as, you know, but I have to. At the same time, I have to claim my ancestry as a predominantly white person. You know, I have a 16th of Ojibwe blood, I think is what I calculated to, which I think is whatever the federal legal hoo-ha-ha is in order to be claiming such whatever citizenship, special uncitizenship. I don't know what it is that you get as a native. I don't know. Except, you know, obviously screwed over by the white man for a whole lot of years. And that's unfortunate, you know. It's like, I think white people are like any people, and that most of them are good-hearted and have good intentions. But, you know, we all are, especially as white people, we all are like so deeply colonized at this point, and so deeply, you know, the empire has been so embedded into our systems that we just take it with us wherever we go. And it's really unfortunate that continues to happen. And it's also really unfortunate that the forces of the empire and of the Render unto Caesar Incorporated just do this, you know, still are destroying indigenous lives in this country and in the rest of the world. But there are still coal mines that are stealing the water from indigenous lands and rerouting them for just coal slurry, polluting and making a mess, and, hauling paradise away, like John Prine said. And it's absurd that we allow this to happen. And I don't want to harp on absurdity too much, but it is. It's ridiculous, and I even want to say redonkulous, because that's how dumb it is. It's like on the level of honky tonk badonkadonk. If you're gonna base the structure of your society on something, that's what you're doing with this whole empire's never-ending mindset. I don't know what that. I don't know. But my God, I'm just gonna shut up and stare at Maury Island. Because, wow. I forget how much I vibe off of being in the water at night. I used to go down to Alki when I was living there with my great aunt, who recently passed away. Give a shout out to Aunt Dorothy. My God, it's just something. It's flat. Even in Kansas, you're not going to get land that flat. Water is its own thing, its own gravity relationship, its own electrical relationship. And, we're water people, right? We are 70% H2O. And no matter what kind of bad hippie poetry you turn it into, it doesn't make it untrue. Oh, it's the first car I've seen. It's been down here, coming along. Man, the vantage, the vista of this place is just incredible. The wetlands are really interesting in and of themselves. It's almost like the store itself is practically built on wetlands, what it seems like to me. It just kind of melts into it from the yard out. It's a trip and a half, there's spirits in the corner of your eyes out here. But, I don't know, I feel like they're on our side. I feel good about the relationship that we're forging here already. A lot of lights across the water. Lose track of where we're at, if we're looking at SeaTac or what. And now off of the other side of Maury and all that, you end up with being downwind of Tacoma, hence Asarco, settlement money, paying for the park on Maury Island, the new park. And that's another interesting one. Swanee was brought up as being a tribe. Did you say it was not the Puyallup tribe? It was another tribe entirely. And it's unfortunate that I'm not remembering it. I want to say it started with an M, but I'm not going to even commit to that idea at all. There's nothing like that lavender light you get around here. There's nothing like it. It's not gray. Yeah. It's pretty entrancing stuff, my friends. Pretty high vibes. Well, I'm not prepared to camp out tonight. Probably better head back to Mariposa. Gotta get up tomorrow. Help Jared out with some backbone business. Finish painting some banners, I think. be heading to DC pretty quick to get her done, so more power to them. And, you know, power to the people of Vashon that want to step up and grab it. But you don't need to take it away from anyone. And, you know, it's just the way it's going to be. Because I'm fed up with competition. I'm fed up with this whole capitalistic notion that we got to outsell each other. And we got to scramble to hoard these resources, to hoard these lands, to hoard these crops, these, I don't know, whatever. I am just done with that idea. And I am hypnotized again, so I've forgotten what I was talking about. You know, I guess I was talking about going back to bed. And, you know, tomorrow's another day. I see places that sleeping bags can lay. That's all I have to say about Occupy Portage beyond beyond, and begin the beginning and get her done. You know, reclaim and liberate this land, and you know, get the flow going, get a healthy channel through this system here, and then we can like have all sorts of shellfish powered, well, not powered, but anyhow, shellfish are good creatures. They do a lot to clean things up, and just having that flush coming through, if we have a portage passage once again, is just gonna do wonders for these harbors. You know, shellfishing perhaps can even begin again. That'd be wonderful if we could actually stop making our wonderful abundant food source inedible with our bad ecology, bad ecological stewardship. Let's renew that commitment to revitalize the harvest, and to also like step up and be righteous overseers of the commons, so that we stop all this gooey death poaching and all this just, you know, exploitation that people slip in under the wire, because it's robbing the legit people of decent opportunities, and it sucks. So stop poaching. Stop being dorks about stuff like that. People are so stupid about stuff sometimes, and it's hard not to get angry, but, you know, that's also another thing to maybe work on decolonizing. I don't really know what that means, but I don't know. I'm fed up with being angry too. I'm ready for something else. I'm ready to feel empowered, and like, change is now instead of change is coming. Stop delaying. Yeah, there it goes, the second car just come by, going down Portage Way, in fact. Wonder how many people saw the sign I put up today. Wonder if it's still there. Maybe I'll take a peek on my way out. And on that note, I'll just go ahead and say over and out, and you know, bless you all, and thanks for listening.